What's screwing with your beef prices and how is Texas trying to stop it? Coming up, we break down screwworm inspections and how this nasty pest can worm its way into your food. Here's what else we're working on today.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Robstown, where past elections have had low turnout. I spoke to a political expert why we see this happen, as well as hearing from residents who voted early in the upcoming runoff election.
If you need an excuse to book a trip, Travel Tuesday may provide you the motivation. I'm Michaela Chavez, showing you where the real savings are and which travel offers to avoid coming up.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. Beef continues to rise in prices, and major factor is the cost increase, screwworms. Screwworms target any open wound, laying eggs that eat through the flesh of warm-blooded animals. Now, Texas Animal Health Commission inspectors are in Brooks County hunting for these pests that can infect cattle. Eli Benavides has been with the Texas Animal Health Commission for 16 years. He says roadside inspection stations can pop up anywhere to catch foreign animal diseases before they spread, with the nearest case just 70 miles south of the border. The agency is on alert.
Screwworm in particular, it's devastating to the livestock industry. It's got very many hosts, right? It can infest, cattle, horses, sheep, goats, any of our agriculture animals, and it also can infect humans.
Well, for ranchers, one missed case could be devastating. That is why these inspections matter. It's so important because there are billions of dollars in the line in the cattle industry. Now, the USDA estimates a screwworm outbreak could cost the Texas economy about $1.8 billion annually. That loss would come from livestock deaths, labor costs, and medication expenses. Livestock losses alone could reach up to $745 million annually in Texas. The number of cattle in the U.S. is currently the lowest in 75 years. Livestock losses to already low cattle numbers would raise beef prices. An outbreak could lead to a potentially $9 billion loss. In the 1960s, an outbreak wiped out 80% of the state's white-tailed deer population. And we hope you're staying warm on this chilly December evening. Even here in South Texas, winter weather has come to visit, but is it here to stay? For more on that, we welcome in meteorologist Diamond Dixon. Diamond, do we still need to have those coats handy for tomorrow?
Actually, well, the good news is that we kind of warm up tomorrow just a little bit. We're expecting our highest tomorrow to be about 10 degrees warmer than what we saw this afternoon. We had a high of about 57 here in Corpus Christi today. We have our beautiful view outside our CCC camera over at Snoopy's Pier. And tomorrow we're looking to be in those mid and upper 70s for some of our neighborhoods. And once again, we'll still have a pretty chilly night in the forecast. We're still sitting at 56 here in Corpus Christi with a northeast wind at 5 miles per hour. But those temperatures across our area are between the 50s and 60s. A nice contrast from this morning in the 30s and 40s. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Hey guys, it's Michaela Chavez, your neighborhood news reporter in Corpus Christi. For now, because I recently learned about Travel Tuesday, one of the best days of the year to book a vacation. So we're going to hop on a Zoom with a travel expert who's going to give us the scoop on what's actually worth your money, what deals are legit, and if Travel Tuesday is worth all the hype. Last year, I came down with the bug, the travel bug. And since I have 0 trips planned for next year, I figured I would get a head start now. First thing I learned, Travel Tuesday equals saving money on pretty much everything.
From resorts, flights, even rental car companies.
Basically, Travel Tuesday is the Black Friday of vacations. But like Black Friday, it doesn't actually stay in its lane. Deals drop on this day, but the booking window could be 24 hours or even months. It's chaos, but the fun kind?
A lot of times they'll say you have to book tomorrow, but again, look at the fine print. That deal may have been already going on for a few weeks or a couple months.
Your booking dates may be different than your travel dates, so you can book the place you're staying at now and flights later. Normally, Shauna loves package deals, but today's different. Resorts are desperate to fill rooms, which means cheap rooms everywhere.
book this week for these certain travel dates and you get like 50% off your room, you get free perks. And so a lot of the clients are grabbing that, but we're not looking for flights yet.
And get this, she says it's actually cheaper to travel internationally.
The biggest deals that I have seen, especially lately, has been for like the Dominican, also all over Mexico. Aruba is really pushing for travelers right now.
Now the most important part, the fine print.
You know, you may pay $50 to go one way, but then $1,000 to come home. You have to stay maybe a 6-night stay and your 7th night is free. Or you have to book a certain room.
And watch out for scams. Don't book through that random email with 17 emojis and a vacation price that feels illegal.
Especially email or Facebook, social media. If you get a private message saying, hey, we have a great deal, just make sure the company's legit.
Another hack. Sometimes it's even cheaper to book directly through the resort to avoid extra fees. And if you want to save even more, get an agent. And if you're like me, not sure where you want to go, you just know you want to go somewhere.
It's always fun to window shop, and you never know, you might find one that you really, really have been wanting to do for a long time, and it's just a great deal. You can't pass it up.
So, if you notice I'm suddenly absent from our newscasts, just know it's probably because I found a Travel Tuesday deal I just couldn't pass up in Corpus Christi, or destination TBD. I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, KRIS 6 News.
Michaela, thanks. A San Antonio man says his weekend getaway to Corpus Christi turned into a search mission for his dog after he claims she was stolen from his motel room. Alberto Soto and his girlfriend were staying at the Motel 6 along SPID and Nile Road when they put their 4 dogs in their room before going to dinner. When they returned, he says the door was open and the dogs were running in the hallway. Their 4th dog, a Yorkie named Chiquita, was missing. Soto tells KRIS 6 News the maintenance worker later confirmed someone used a key to enter the room about 2 hours after they left. Soto posted on Facebook, in search to find Chiquita. Someone reached out and says they were unaware she was stolen and purchased her for $20.
Super insulting. I mean, that poor dog, she's worth more than $20. And I was like, oh my, that's horrible. If she knew, she would be so demeaned. But to me, that's like my family member.
Soto is on his way back to Corpus Christi to get his dog. Now he plans to file a police report with CCPD, hoping this doesn't happen to others staying at the hotel. Now we reached out to Motel 6 corporate office for comment, but have not heard back.
Only about 1,241 people voted in Robson City election earlier this month. Now, early voting is underway for the runoffs. I'm Stephanie Molina, your neighborhood news reporter in Robstown. I spoke to a political expert to find out why an important city election is seeing low turnout. Early voting has begun in the Robson runoff elections for mayor in Place 1. Incumbent Mayor David Piri Martinez received 462 votes, and candidate Mary Ann Sands got 502. With only a 40-vote difference between the two candidates, residents have to vote again who they want to see in office. I spoke to neighbors on why they came out to vote.
I think it is very important, and I've always said that if you don't vote, you don't have a voice.
Only 1,241 people voted in November. According to Data USA, there is about 10,000 residents in the city. In 2023, there was about 6,000 registered voters, and 1,222 voted. Back then, the city faced a runoff as well and gathered 1,231. In 2021, there was 1,021.
How does that make you feel knowing that it's a low turnout?
It saddens me because people don't care.
It's not good.
I mean, that's really sad. I mean, people just, they just let things go by.
I reached out to Dr. Paul Gaudemuller, professor of political science at Del Mar College, to find out why cities like Robstown have this issue.
If your election is not on a general election date, where a president or the governor is on the ballot, you tend to have lower turnout.
He further explains that compared to bigger cities, Robson has limited media, which leads to general lower awareness. And with runoff election, there is even less chances of people voting. So why does this matter?
Incredibly important that you are showing up there to participate so that your preferences are heard.
So for residents who are second doubting voting,
the one way to make a community better is for you to be engaged in that community.
Early voting continues until Tuesday, December 9th. Election day for the runoffs is December 13th. In Robstown, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Stephanie Molina, Chris 6 News.
All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. Well, when CCISD proposed to close 7 schools because of a budget deficit, it got a strong reaction from neighbors in Nueces County. Now, the district is giving those folks the chance to speak their mind in a public forum. 8 community meetings will be held to get public feedback on the school closure plan. Now, 7 of those meetings will be held at the schools on the closure list. Now, 1 meeting will be virtual. The first meeting will be held at Travis Elementary on Thursday, December 4th. It begins at 5 p.m. Now, we have a complete list of all the meetings on our website, christv.com. Well, looking to spread some holiday cheer to local veterans this month, we've got some ways to give back after the break.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
Well, for this week's Veterans in Focus, we're taking a look at all the ways you can show up and give back this holiday season. Today is your last chance to see the massive patriotic flag display at the Richard Borcher Regional Fairgrounds. Tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m., the Coastal Bend Flags of Valor will be deactivated. And if you've been waiting for a sign to do a good deed this month, well, this is it. Organizers need volunteers to help pick up, fold, and sort the thousands of flags with respect, and also gather and store all the rebar and PCV pipes. And that is not all. December also gives us a moment to remember. Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day honors the 2,403 Americans killed in the surprise attack 84 years ago. It's officially observed on December 7th. There's a ceremony at Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park at 10 a.m. on Saturday. The USS Lexington is also having a ceremony on Sunday at 2 p.m. And that's just the start. There are even more holiday events on the way with giveaways and ways to give back. A full look on tonight's Veterans in Focus. Well, we thank you so much for spending your Tuesday with us here at Chris 6. The question on everyone's mind, will the weather warm up this week? Well, we've got the answer for you later on in the newscast.
Welcome back there, Coastal Bend. Meteorologist Simon Dixon here with the live look outside our First Community Bank over the USS Lexington. Once again, beautiful sunset starting on early in our 5 o'clock hour. Once again, still a little chilly outside, but not as cold as this morning. Looking at those low temperatures, 30s for Beeville at 38, 42 for here in Corpus Christi and Rockport, and still those lower 40s around the rest of our area. But looking at temperatures now, we're hanging out in the 50s and 60s, 56 for Corpus Christi, Robstown, as well as Beeville and Kingsville. Lower 60s for Mathis and San Diego at 60 and 61 for George West. Freer and Hebbronville 50s also right along the coast. Our feel like temperatures will dip into those 40s tonight between 9 and 1 a.m. and again at 5 a.m. before we rise to those 50s back again between 7 and 9 and feeling like those 60s mid and upper by 1 and 3 tomorrow afternoon. Those current winds also kind of chilling out this evening under 10 miles per hour across our neighborhoods. We're looking at the past 10 hours, kind of an even split between the 40s and 50s. We've held on to the 50s for quite some time since 11, and now, of course, still in the 5 o'clock hour. Those 50s will also carry us into our morning, into Wednesday. So we hit a high today of 57. That's still below average, and this morning we hit our low of 42, which is also below the average. And so hour by hour, we'll dip into those lower 50s closer to 9 and 10, and exactly at 54, 11 and 12 carried into 1 a.m. And then we enter into our Wednesday also in the lower 50s, closer to 51 and 53. Now, those rain chances also make a return for us here in the Coastal Bend between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and that's going to be between isolated and widely scattered. A little bit more on the scattered side for Friday, but Wednesday, those showers look to pass us mainly to the north and to the east, and Thursday is our next cold front. So you can see through Future Tracker, we'll just have increased cloud cover, couple of showers that really are mainly over the Gulf. We don't see those showers go a little bit inland until closer to 7 tomorrow night, and that'll be north of Corpus Christi and to the east of Beeville, closer to Victoria and Bay City going towards Houston. But we can see those showers really making an impact closer to Thursday, which is going to be overnight from Wednesday as our cold front moves through. So those high temperatures this week will mainly be below normal, but there will be also a couple of days where we see above normal, which is going to just be any temperature that's above 72 for this week. So looking at those lows tonight, you can still expect upper 30s for George West, lower 40s though for Beeville and Refugio and Mathis, Alice and Freer. And when we still look at the low 50s for Corpus Christi and the Naval Air Station, mid 50s for Port Aransas. So still a little bit of variation between our low temperatures tonight between the 30s and the 50s, but still we're under the average. The average would be 52 for this time. So once again, we'll still spend about half of our week under that average. But for this week coming up, once again, still rain from Wednesday through Friday. Our next cold front moves into Thursday morning. We start to feel the effects of that cold front headed into Friday. That then drops us about 10 degrees for our high of the day into the upper 50s. But by the weekend, we'll have temperatures in the 70s, even upper 70s closer to Sunday with mostly sunny skies. Those rain chances kind of diminish, but we do still have a couple of cold mornings in the forecast, and that will be Thursday and Friday for us. Once again, still a little cold. You'll want to carry a jacket.
Well, it's a big weekend to kick off the Christmas season, and the Port of Corpus Christi is participating with an illuminated boat parade this Saturday. If you can't make it in person, you can watch a live broadcast of the parade hosted by Leah Zora and meteorologist Diamond Dixon. Coverage of the Downtown Management District's illuminated boat parade begins at 7 p.m. on our sister station KDF. So join us as we help kick off the holiday season right here in Corpus Christi. A massive risk paying off in a big way. Coming up, we'll tell you about the new Texas church that has been blessed by Pope Leo XIV.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Pope Leo XIV has blessed a brick set to be a piece of a new Texas church. NBC's Phil President has more on the risk one church leader took and how it is paid off with a big blessing.
Father Paolo Capra's risk paid off as a last-minute change of plans led to this once-in-a-lifetime encounter with Pope Leo. In his hands, the first brick to be laid for a new church more than 6,000 miles away, now blessed by the Bishop of Rome and leader of the Worldwide Catholic Church.
I feel like it's so incredible and amazing. When I saw it, I couldn't believe it.
Sunday, their congregation took it as a sign. Their long-dreamed-of new home may become a reality.
I could definitely see more people coming here and getting to see this church.
St. Augustine in Pleasant Grove serves around 500 people in a low-income immigrant community.
Pope Leo is very, like Pope Francis, no, is very fond on the poor, no, on helping the poor and the immigrants.
They hope to break ground on a new church next year. Images on their website show their dream. A team from the church toured Greece and Turkey to celebrate the 20th anniversary for their seminary. While abroad, they heard Pope Leo plan to travel to Istanbul.
There were many beautiful surprises step by step.
They changed plans and waited outside his location, hoping for this very moment. And Friday, it all came together.
This for the good of the whole area of Pleasant Grove, especially for the good of the faith and the life of the people there.
In an interview, Father Capra told us this year has been a trying time for their community, but this one moment inspired them to keep the faith that better and bigger days are to come.
Well, after 2 weeks of hard work, the Christmas tree downtown is finally ready to shine. This morning, volunteers with HEB placed the last missing piece of the puzzle, the dazzling 6-foot star on the top of the Christmas tree. This marks the official start to this weekend's lighting of the tree celebration, an event organizers say is great for the entire community.
they get a sense of pride in their community and also just a sense of the holiday spirit. You know, seeing the tree down here right on the beautiful shoreline is just such a fun family thing for people to do.
Well, the lighting of the tree will take place this Saturday at Water's Edge Park starting at 5:30 p.m. But the festivities begin at 4 o'clock with lots of other activities, including live entertainment and food trucks. The event is free to the public, and around 10,000 people are expected to attend. All right, Diamond, so you're going to be down there for an event yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the good news is that it will be a little warmer, so I won't have to deal with the shivering cold like this morning.
Yes.
Because that was a no-no. I mean, I'm not opposed to the cold. It puts you in the Christmas spirit.
It does.
But this weekend will be closer to those 70s for us. We could see that rain chances once again enter the forecast Wednesday through Friday. But the thing is that Wednesday, like I mentioned, those showers kind of look more northeast of us, kind of missing us. But the tail end towards midnight into Thursday, when our next cold front arrives, that's where we could see that shower activity headed into Friday. We could see Friday, we take another dip into those temperatures in the upper 50s, and then we warm right back up to those 70s for the weekend. But we'll have sunny skies over the weekend, so I think people will at least enjoy the no rain weather for being outside. So that's going to be good. But we still have a couple of cold mornings in the forecast this week. But for the most part, what a cool start to December.
Literally. Cool starts.
Yeah,
well, I don't really like the cold, so I'm enjoying this nice little break, but I'm like, okay, sun, come back.
I know, come on back, son. Well, we get a peak tomorrow. Temperatures will be in those mid and upper 60s.
We'll see you here at 6 o'clock. Good night.
Bye.